Hello everyone, it's thebenatmos, and welcome back to tripleS Eras, the show where we take a look back on the never-ending roller coaster that is the tripleS timeline. We left off right at the beginning of the Hyerin era on May 23rd, 2022, and Seoyeon has her nervous voice out, which means something big is about to go down. That's right, it's the momentous occasion where two S's meet face to face for the first time, and also the birth of the most awkward pairing in all of K-pop.
아이고 뭐야 얘는.
집이 굉장히 좋은데요. 이거 사장님이 애착하시던 쿠션 저 다 봤어요.
진짜 다 보셨네요. 어떻게 이게 너무
살려주세요. SOS.
아 이런 거구나. 네.
Sohyun guesses Hyerin's age and is unsuccessful.
저 몇 살 같아요? 괜찮아요.
안 괜찮아요. 실례일 것 같아. 어떻게 말해도 되나? 친구일 수 있겠다라고 생각을 했어요.
안녕히 계세요. 저는 다시 차 타고 가면 되는 거죠. 저 16살이에요.
Okay bro, why'd they choose these two? Look, I think they're cute. They could have just chose someone Seoyeon's age so they'd get all friendly and besties fast, but I think having this more awkward older-younger sister dynamic, where the younger sister is much more experienced when it comes to the idol stuff, is just more interesting. tripleS could have just been a pair of besties for a little bit, but instead we got something more like a sisterhood, with things they can teach each other. That's much more exciting to me, even if it is awkward at first. Now, which room will she choose? Seoyeon has been cluing in that she would love to have a room to herself, and Hyerin chose the purple room. Well, I'm sure they'll get friendly fast. Actually, Hyerin says she was gonna pick that room no matter what because she loves purple. You can tell because that's her representative color. Wait, do they get to choose their colors? Oh, there's exceptions. Never mind. Next, they get to eat together at the kitchen. Guys, this is your sign to get some delicious comfort food and munch away. Unless you really care about your diet. I mean, look, I respect that too, no worries. And behold, the first dual date verification. So cute. Next signal, they're back at the house. But it's the night of the previous signal. Look, time's a little wibbly wobbly, but basically same day, next day signal. Hyerin and Seoyeon are counting down till the Hyerin welcome signal gets uploaded. But they need to find a place to watch it together.
들어와.
Nothing says being friends quite like cringing to the same video in bed. And they talk late into the night. I'm guessing sharing stuff they don't necessarily want us to know. But that's how you bond. The next day comes and it's Tuesday, aka English Day, aka Seoyeon Suffering Day. But plot twist, it turns out Hyerin can choose whether to learn English or Japanese. She chooses Japanese. In the purple room, Catherine gives Seoyeon some English homework. Luckily, it's actually not writing an overly analytical essay on abstract symbolism found in a literary work that the author probably didn't even intend and having to stick to an arbitrary format that some society you didn't care about construed, but is in fact filming a video diary. Guess we'll be seeing that later. I don't think we see it later. What about Hyerin? Well, Miki-sensei is already teaching her how to introduce herself, until they start talking about Korean dialects. Anyways, it went well. Of course, Seoyeon and Hyerin catch up afterwards and commiserate their awkward language learning woes. There was also Hyerin's first Signal live that night, but they do a lot of lives at tripleS Incorporated, so I'm not going to mention them from here on out unless they're important. But shoutouts to Mango Nim for being the #1 spot for English sub tripleS lives. Not sponsored, but you know, you need to watch them if you're a wave, come on. The next day, it's the first group dancing sesh, and Hyerin comforts Seoyeon with some advice.
이게 혼자서 하는 거보다 이제 어르신들 같이 하는 게 부담감이 덜하다. 다른 멤버들, 연습생들하고 같이 하면은 막 알려주고 이제 서로 모르거나 이런 부분 물어보면서 할 수 있는데.
But then, dang, she really kind of leaves her in the dust here. But only for a moment, because, you know, she's nice and wants to help. The next day, it's time to decorate their room. I mean, we gotta make it cozy, that's just a must. Then it's time for Hyerin to make her schedule. On it is dancing, figures, covering songs suggested by fans, practicing Japanese, and catching frogs?
귀걸이가 막 크면 어떡해? 언니 잡을 수 있어? 아니, 너가 잡아줘야지.
And it's Wave's lucky day. Well, unless you're a frog. Actually, then it probably is your lucky day? Anyways, they fill out a profile next, so we can finally learn some basics about these girls. Yeah, when you think about it, they really haven't revealed much until now.
혈액형은 저 뭐 같나요? A. O. 헉, 다 틀렸어요. B예요. B형.
Hayeon says her favorite color is purple, so Seoyeon name drops Tinky Winky?
나는 보라. 보라돌이.
That was not a crossover I was expecting. Well, next day's signal has rolled around and it's the previous day again. And they're in the kitchen. What they whipping up though? Well, I'll tell you. You see, this is the fulfillment of a long-time promise. Back in the previous era, in a Signal Weekly, Seoyeon casually said she'd make some kyeonjim, or Korean-style fried eggs for the members. But it just kept coming back up, and now she has to act good on that promise. Live.
그럼 계란찜이죠? 네. 근데 맛있어요. 저 계란찜 좋아하거든요, 진짜. 계란찜도 같이 24분인가요?
그거 생각...
But the main course for today's signal is Hayeon's vocal lesson. She's told to raise her voice and be more confident, like she's singing to Seoyeon across the room. Next is Signal Weekly, so there's some cool behind-the-scenes footage, like Hayeon being all nervous before entering the house for the first time. Wow! Some first impression interviews. Or Seoyeon really not wanting to make TikToks with Hayeon. That is so her. Also, I find it awesome how Hayeon says this.
다른 멤버분들 들어오시면 같이 K-pop 안무도 저는 따고 싶거든요. 그래서 같이 해서 뭔가 그룹으로 이렇게 보여드리고 싶고.
Because she definitely does love doing that still. In fact, she practically has to drag the members her age out to do it, but you know, we love a dancing queen. In Selfie Sunday, we see how they went shopping, and the next signal is cute. They sit down and talk about their contrasts and differences. Notice not me or the title of the video mentions similarities, because there basically wasn't any. But in all seriousness, if you want to know some of their motivations and histories in becoming an idol, check it out. The next signal is interesting. It's actually split into two parts. E, which follows Hayeon, and I, which follows Seoyeon. I don't know what makes it an extrovert or introvert thing, since Hayeon is just walking, but whatever. First, Hayeon, which means a Japanese lesson into walking time. Hayeon is a certified walk enjoyer. Comment if you love going for walks. We'll start a wave walking army. So looking at all this beautiful scenery, you might be wondering, where the heck are these houses? Well, we now know this place as the Gapyeong House, due to it being located in Gapyeong County in Gyeonggi Province, about 30 miles east of Seoul. The whole county is known for its nature and its proximity to the Bukhan River. It's a nice environment for the reality show, letting these girls walk in peace and not have any paparazzi-related woes. Specifically, they're staying at a gated healing golf getaway called the Stay Healing Park. There's a pool, a garden, and the place they eat at is an actual restaurant there named The Kitchen at 9 Block, which is a sort of arty building filled with exhibits. I'm pretty sure you could visit it now if you wanted, granted you were in the area. But to be clear, the girls haven't been living here for a long time at this point. I'm not doxing them, okay? But anyways, it was too hot for Hayeon, so she came back from her walk. Of course, in the other signal, it's Seoyeon's suffering time.
So how was today's class?
Too much homework.
Too much homework? No.
She then proceeds to watch Kung Fu Panda for English practice.
만두 먹어. I'm hungry.
Then Seoyeon realizes how much she likes blue. Yeah, they definitely have some autonomy over choosing their representative colors. And it's on to the next day, which has it's S3! Jiwoo is the first S who the audience might have recognized beforehand, unless you were these girls' moms or something. Anyways, she was part of a drama, an XSM and YG trainee, and gained a decent following on the survival show My Teenage Girl. She comes off as cute, thoughtful, and shy in this teaser. Yeah, that's false advertising, but I'm not gonna jump the gun, you'll see for yourself. Now, this got our girls in the mood for a reaction that day, which, wish I could relate, but the contents team had an idea. Yeah, they made the two girls react to the unrevealed S's reacting to the Hayeon reveal in move-in signal. What a mouthful. But we got to hear these trainees' impressions, which was pretty fascinating. Like this English-speaking S who never saw the light of day.
S2 was revealed today, and
We are mourning the loss of there being a single native English speaker in a Jade and Jung produced girl group. But who could this one be?
저 나이가 07년생이더라고요. 저랑 몇 살 차이 나는 거지?
Do you recognize that voice? The piano in the background? That handsome chin? It's Sohyun. This one was Dahyun, I think. Yubin, I think. Jiwoo was in there. Somewhere. It's fun hearing these mysterious girls' impressions while Seoyeon and Hyerin are watching with us.
그럼 이제 두 분의 케미를 아니 어색함인가? 어색함을 또 기대하면
Speaking of reactions,
나 못 보겠어. 맞으셔.
깜짝아.
now it's time to film that challenge for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Is that why Seoyeon is wearing shorts? And they're getting there. But I don't know, it's cute. This is the first of like thousands of shorts to come. That makes it pretty special. That and Hyerin made the choreo herself. Yes, it's no secret, this girl loves dancing. The next day, a vocal lesson, where we get a duet.
길을 대보며 오직 내게만 작게 들려오는 목소리.
Hey, they sound good. Seoyeon's improvement has been noticeable. And what, it's been like 2 weeks? The Signal Weekly is actually pretty significant this time. The girls share how being in the house has helped them. For Seoyeon, it's the new habits, like cooking, she's picked up. And for Hyerin, it's the new experiences and excitement. It really comes through how significant this time has been for them, especially when Seoyeon states how genuinely grateful she is that everyone is watching their stuff. The Selfie Signal Sunday is just par for the course, and the next day, the girls went shopping for supplies to treat S3 to a welcome picnic. Now, if you watched episode 1, you might remember I had a bit of a sentimental music compilation moment. I would do it again, but all we really have from this era is that practice a cappella duet, and I wouldn't— yeah, I would. The new girl is on her way. The era of the most awkward K-pop pairing is coming to an end, but something tells me it wouldn't stay awkward forever, even without S3.
숲속 어디엔가 길을 대보며 오직 내게만 작게 들려오는 목소리. 푸른 바다 위에 멈춰.
푸른 바다는 개사할까 나? 개사 잘하네.
Now, you're probably wondering, will they be able to survive another awkward encounter with a new member? Will the power of bonding pull them through? Well, you'll have to find out next time because the Hyerin era has officially ended. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you think about this era? As unique as the Seoyeon era was, literally a girl living by herself and not knowing her 23 other groupmates, this was equally as fascinating, seeing that veil finally be lifted just a bit. I mean, it was the first chemistry in tripleS ever. Pretty neat. Anyways, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more, and check out my Patreon for a bonus video where I react to some of the most recent signals. It's a fun time. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Annyeong!
어떡해.